Welcome to Gorilla Sports Off Field. I'm Liv Moods, and in just a moment, joined by Nate Jackson. And this is presented by Trusted American Mortgage. Trusted American salary-based mortgage consultants want to help you get into a better interest rate and lower your monthly payments. So head to trustedamerican.com to see how they can help you save money today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Woo! That's how we open every show. And if you don't like it, then leave. Kidding.
Bye.
We are live here in the Gorilla Sports studio for another Off Field. I'm Nate Jackson. That's Liv Moods. Kidding. It's almost April Fool's. We can do something. We're going to do something on April Fool's,
We're going to plan something.
Yeah. So just make sure you're tuning in.
Yep.
But nonetheless, there's a lot to discuss today,
Yeah.
Nate. I know despite people thinking there's not anything happening in the world of football,
Yeah.
pretty sure Ashton Genty was just shirtless moving around.
Wow.
So there's things to talk about.
Yeah.
Everyone relax. Okay. I'm not saying that because I have a crush. I'm saying that because the dude is ripped.
He's ripped. He's a, the
And we're
running
going to
back.
talk about him.
Yeah. And why are we going to talk about him? Because the Broncos need a running back.
Yes, they do.
They need a running game, they don't just need a running back. We've talked about this, Liv. It's not just like get the guy, but it's like commit to it.
Commit.
There's a reason why Sean Payton wrote "run it" on his play script.
Which
We
to
talk
this
about this all
day
the time.
is like the
It's pretty
funniest
funny,
thing.
right?
It is funny.
And he wrote that because he has to remind himself to run the football because his instinct, his inclination as a coach is to throw it.
And let's be honest, he's had success doing that. So it's
A
not like
ton of it.
it's not like we're sitting here saying, change if it's not broke, don't fix it. Of course, we understand that. But we're also seeing a pattern and a trend across the league where having that guy, that Saquon Barkley, that Derrick Henry does bode very well for these teams. It does help them in a lot of ways, not only in their running game, but also it does help the passing game as well.
Yeah.
To have confidence in your run game.
And it helps your young quarterback.
And that's what the Broncos need.
As excited as we are about Bo Nix and what he did his rookie year, the sophomore year can sometimes be harder because now they know you. Now they have a book on you. Now they know how to prepare to beat you. And
they're watching film on you, Bo.
They're watching Bo, okay? And
They've got their eyes on you, Bo.
They believe they can shut you down.
They believe that they can.
And so Sean Payton
handle it.
knows his running game was inadequate last year.
Yes.
That's why he's running on the thing. But then he also couldn't find the right running back to use or the right running back combination to use. And so when we're talking about who the Broncos are going to get in the draft, we got to look at the room they have assembled now and who we think is going to stay in that room. Now, we know one guy for sure is going to stay, Michael Burton. He just signed a one-year deal. He's a fullback. So one of the last fullbacks left in the NFL, Michael Burton, but he's going to take up a roster spot and he's going to be in that room because Sean Payton loves to have options when he's calling plays. If a defense does this, we can use this personnel group. But if they do this, I got this in my bag. And Michael Burton and the base personnel package, which is one fullback, one running back, two receivers and a tight end, or a fullback, a running back, two tight ends and a receiver, whatever. But having the fullback on the field is kind of a flex for him as a play caller. It's another tool in his tool belt that he can use when a defense is weak in that area.
Yeah.
Michael Burton wasn't on the field a ton last year.
Right.
He had his best year ever, and he had 10 catches.
So tell me how you feel about them re-signing him. Is
I like
this a
it.
good business decision for the Broncos?
I like it. It's not just an on the field thing for what I was just talking about, the options for an offensive play caller. But he's a New Orleans guy, so he's one of his inner circle dudes who knows how to articulate what he wants.
Yeah,
he's a glue guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy who's been in the league for 10 plus years.
You need those in your locker room.
You do.
Yes.
And they offered little Jordan Humphrey a similar 1-year deal, and he was a similar glue guy, similar New Orleans guy, and he said no. He's moving on to the Giants where he can maybe get a larger role in the offense.
Yeah.
But Michael Burton kind of knows what his role is. He's the only fullback on the roster. And there's not a lot of coaches in the league who like to use a fullback anymore.
Except for Mr. Sean.
Sean
He does
Payton?
everything the way he wants to do it. And that's
relative
just
to
right, relative to what everybody else does. He doesn't care, actually.
he
So-
doesn't, and he thinks that he's smarter than everybody, and he might just be.
And he might be a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not always.
Well,
I think
last year's draft and Bo Nix kind of shows that maybe he was a
I
little bit
think
smarter
he
than people
sees
give him credit.
stuff that maybe other people don't see.
Yeah.
So it's very easy, because I was one of those people, and I'm not afraid to admit it, that was questioning his decision-making skills early in the season.
Are you softening your criticism of Shawnee boy?
What does softening mean?
Are you
exactly?
feeling better about Sean Payton as the head coach? Are you?
Yes, I felt that way
I know
halfway through the season,
You've been
but
upfront about that.
I still am able to like call him a stubborn old man, because I do think he is at times with
Yeah.
certain things, but that's also just, I think that's probably Sean in his regular life as well.
Yeah.
I don't
Imagine
think
being
this is
married to
just
Sean.
him as a head, right? I
Yeah.
don't think this is just him as a head coach. I could imagine if I were, a couple decades older, I don't think our personality, if we went on a date, swiped right,
You
I'd
think
be
there'd
like,
be some
yeah,
mansplaining going on from Sean about
absolutely
every little thing
yes,
relative to
absolutely
the right way to do things? Well,
mansplaining how to order a proper beverage, or,
Or
just
anything,
anything. Yeah, so
right?
I just think that's who
Right.
Sean is,
and in football, like in life, that is probably annoying. But
but
in
it works here.
being a head football coach of an NFL team, it's actually pretty good, because there's
Yeah.
so many compartments that you have to be good at, and he's able to,
Thinking he was outsmarting Harbaugh. He seems like the kind of dude who would do that. He's thinking he's smarter than everyone. Yes, Ray, of course he does.
he thinks he's smarter than everyone, but I don't think he wrote that on his thing. I guess I'm confused. What are you suggesting, Ray? That he wrote it on his play sheet, thinking that Harbaugh would see that, and
Yeah,
then
because I'm
be
not
like,
sure how
"We got
Harbaugh
to
would
stop
see
the
that.
run." Yeah, I think Sean Payton wrote "run it" on his play sheet because he knows he's not running the football enough. And he knows that he's got to commit to it, because he would commit to it in the first and second quarter, and then it's working, but then you abandon it in the second half.
Right.
There's an element of play calling
He was
that
reminding himself.
he was reminding himself.
It's like when I write on a sticky note and say breathe and put it on my mirror in the morning.
Do you?
Just no.
Do you ever?
But
Do you ever catch yourself holding your breath? And you're like, I gotta breathe.
yeah, no, I actually, when I was a competitive dancer full time for like a lot of years, I used to not breathe during our whole like minute and a half routine.
Would you just pass out as soon as it's done?
I mean, no.
You
I'm
would hold
above-
your breath the whole time?
Especially like turn sections. Like, have you seen dancers turn where they look like they're tops and they're
Fuente
spinning?
or whatever.
Yeah. Wait.
I know about the fuente.
Excuse me.
Come on now.
I need to know how you know about a fuete.
Because the dance team at my high school was like world class. They were like
Okay.
national
California has phenomenal dance
national
teams.
champs. I mean, we
Yes.
went down there, they won the thing in
Yes.
LA, and a lot of our best friends were girls on that team, and
And they taught you about a fuete.
I knew all about the fuente.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can do a
yes,
fuente. No, I can't.
we're gonna have to see that.
Not right here.
We're
Not
gonna have
right
to see
now.
that for sure. But yeah, that was just a gentle reminder for Sean. It's
Yeah.
no different than, breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
Take a
Exactly.
breath,
And
know.
so to me, and I've talked about this before, it's not just about finding the right running back.
Right.
It's about gearing it up every single day to commit to the run, so these guys know that that's their identity.
Yes.
This offensive line is built to be a road grading run team.
Mhm.
Big dudes, aggressive dudes who can fire out, and beast guys. They didn't do a lot of that last year, and they
Right.
want to. The offensive line, they want to fire off. They want to go on the attack. It's not fun to pass set and let guys attack you. It's more fun to be the aggressor when you're on the offensive line. And so it starts with that. It starts with a commitment to the running game, and Sean Payton standing in front of the guys and being like, we didn't run the ball enough last year, and that was my fault. That was on me. And we're going to fix that because we had some imbalances on offense. We got to protect our rookie quarterback. We got to keep the ball longer, keep our defense fresh. This defense was awesome last year.
Yeah.
We got to keep them fresh and attack. And they led the league in sacks, without a strong running game.
Yeah.
And so the Broncos had a lot of 3-and-outs last year on offense. And so it's amazing that this defense was still able to lead the league in sacks with an offense that went 3-and-out as many times as the Broncos. Because you're tired when when you have to go right back on the field as a defense. It's harder to attack. So yes, it's about finding the right guy, but it's also about establishing that identity. But it's almost like if you have the right guy, then you feel like you can lean into that identity. And Javonte Williams,
So maybe he didn't feel confident enough in the
didn't.
running back room to truly commit to the run game.
exactly.
Which, but then you could also play devil's advocate and say, had you committed and given some of these guys a better opportunity, maybe they could have proven that they can be that guy for you, but they weren't really given a fair chance at that.
Yeah.
So I think you could probably make an argument on both sides of this, where it's like Sean didn't give them enough of a chance. but he didn't feel confident enough to give them a chance.
Yeah.
So I think it goes both ways for sure. But yeah, they need their guy. Could their guy be Ashton Genty?
Well, by the looks of him yesterday with his shirt off, maybe
guys,
so. Can you throw that up there, Andy?
Yeah, we need to just take a look at this. I mean,
so small, not super tall, very compact.
huge.
Apparently, huge,
Ripped.
hard to bring down, but apparently takes care of his body. Is not, eats healthy, isn't out partying at night, takes the game seriously, was incredibly durable during his time at Boise State. So not just
Lord have mercy on my soul.
Yeah, what would you do if you had to try to tackle him?
To be honest, I would rather get hit by a moving vehicle than Ashton Genty.
Okay.
Based on the looks of it.
All right, interesting decision there. But yeah, no.
I don't know.
One of those guys-
He's looking pretty strong, pretty fast, pretty tough.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I think, there were 5 NFL running back coaches at that thing yesterday. The Broncos running backs coach was one of them. Lots of scouts. So clearly they have an interest in Ashton Genty, but can they get him?
You know what's beautiful about it too? We already know he looks good in blue and orange. We already know he knows how to represent Broncos well.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
That's
excuse
right.
me.
That's right.
This is actually perfect. I think the writing is on the wall.
My middle school mascot was the Broncos. So the writing was on the wall there.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a story about a Bronco.
Well, you should get one. It's not too late.
I'm going to buy a Bronco car. How about that?
That's not a bad idea.
I actually love those.
The new ones or the old school ones?
No, a new one.
Okay.
Sorry. I need heated
Like
seats and stuff.
Heated seats.
Yeah.
Just
Mandatory.
Okay.
I actually, when I bought my adult nice little vehicle, my first big girl purchase was my car that I love. I said who I love. Yes, she is. She is.
Does she have a name?
Personality. Yes, but I forgot it.
You forgot her name.
Sasha.
Sasha.
For Sasha Fierce.
Oh, okay.
I'm fierce. She's Sasha.
Oh, just a dynamic duo.
Mm-hmm.
The two of you.
Anyway, no, I'm not talking about my friend. I'm talking about my car. But when I bought this car, that was one of the mandatory. When you live in Colorado, I'm sorry, there is nothing worse than a freezing cold winter morning and your tush is ice.
Yeah.
You have to have the heated seat.
No one wants ice tush.
Nobody.
No.
I can't think of one person that would want that. So anyway, it would have to be a new Bronco. But either way, the writing's on the wall for Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
Blue and orange, Bronco, big, fast, strong.
The question is, can the Broncos get him? And how much will they have to trade up to get him? And how much would they have to give up to get him? And so these are, you have the rest of your team's needs to also focus on. You have other positions of need that you want. You have other positions that you want to create depth with. You have other guys in the draft that you like. So how much do you leverage your future or your picks in this draft to get this one guy? One guy.
Well, what do you feel like they really need? Because in my opinion, the run game is what you need to address the most.
And they will draft one running back, maybe two, probably two. The question for me, honestly, is how do you view Jaleel McLaughlin in your future? Because Sean Payton has historically not relied on one back like the Derrick Henry or the Saquon Barkley model. He's like the thunder and lightning two-headed monster guy.
Yeah.
And when he talks about a joker at running back, it's a guy with superior receiving skills. Not like Saquon Barkley's not
Good
a joker.
hands.
Derrick Henry, he's not a joker. I think Jaleel McLaughlin could be a joker type of guy. I think Jaleel McLaughlin could be a Darren Sproles type of player for Sean Payton. But I don't know if they view him that way.
Well, let me.
And if they do, sorry.
No, you're good.
And if they do view him that way, then they can get the Thunder guy and not the Lightning guy. But if they don't view Jaleel that way, maybe they have to go after both guys. So that's the question mark in my mind is Javante's gone. Audric Estime, I think, probably is going to get replaced. Maybe they still like him and they're going to give him a shot. But Jaleel is an intriguing prospect who they clearly like. And he ended up being the starter at the end of last season. And Javante was no longer playing, and they gave him those carries. He's not that every down player, but he is that third down lightning bolt guy who can get the ball and make stuff happen. Will they give him the opportunity to be that going forward? I don't know.
Well, so they got to find Thunder for the Lightning.
Yes,
To your
and,
point.
and that guy could be Thunder.
And that guy could be Thunder. Ashton Genty feels very thunderous, if you ask me. However,
Yeah.
you said something just now, and it does pose a new question in my brain, which is you said, I think Jaleel could be that guy. The
Yeah.
problem is, this is not a team that I think gives enough time and energy to build running backs up to where they could be. I think Sean Payton needs a guy that's ready to go because he doesn't he has to write it on a flipping clipboard to remind himself to do it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, we know that not just in games, but also probably in practices, they're not spending a ton of time getting running backs where they to their max potential. I think Sean needs a guy that's just there right now, and I don't know if Jaleel is there right now. Do I think he could be? Yes. But do I think he's on the right team to build him up to that? No.
So you don't think Jaleel's future is here in Denver?
It might be, but I don't think he's going to be what we need him to be because I don't think he's in an environment that can get him there.
Well, I think if you have a complimentary back, and they tried to have that with Javonte.
Yeah, they did.
And it just didn't work with Javonte. And then they gave Audric Estime the carries for a while and or for one game. Then he was off back on the bench. They didn't know who to trust there. But I think Jaleel is a certain kind of back that Sean Payton really does like. And you look at Darren Sproles' productivity, catching a ton of passes out of the backfield. He wasn't the every down back. They had guys to kind of take those loads, like the short yardage stuff or the first down carries and things like that. But he likes to use two backs.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, or it was Reggie Bush when he first got there, who was kind of the Lightning, and the Thunder was Deuce McAllister, who was a big bruising back. That's what Sean Payton likes to use too.
Thunder, Lightning.
Right.
Out of the two of us on this show, who's Thunder, who's Lightning?
You're Lightning. I'm definitely Thunder.
What's the difference? I mean, I know
Because
what
you
the
have more
difference
pizzazz and you're more flashy, and I'm just more of like the bruising.
I think it's the hoop earrings.
Yeah. Give me that pink
Pizzazzy.
lips or lip gloss, and I may be able to become Lightning for today.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably Lightning.
Yeah.
What's cooler, Lightning or Thunder?
Lightning's way cooler. Thunder's just loud.
I wasn't gonna
The
say
Lightning
it.
is bright.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad.
And
you
lightning
did.
strikes.
It does. It
Lightning will
hurts.
hurt you.
Yeah.
Thunder is just scary.
So
I won't hurt you.
evil eyes straight to the
I
camera.
won't hurt you.
The viewers are logging off. No, I don't hurt people unless they need it.
Often.
Right. I don't hurt people on a regular basis.
Well,
No.
only when you announce that you are engaged on the internet. Then you hurt
Oh
people.
my gosh.
You
Boy,
lost how
did
many
I.
followers when you did that?
I lost over 700 followers when I did that.
You guys, if you're one of those followers that unfollowed Liv after
Yeah.
she announced her engagement, shame on you.
A lot of the comments were really funny. Someone commented and said, like, I just fell to my knees in CVS. I was like, come
Wow.
on, guys. Like, I'm still Liv Moods. What's going on?
No, you're
here?
not.
What's funny is little do people know, because I didn't post my fiance at all on my page beforehand. I've been with this man for over a year and you've still liked my content. So what's different? I bought a home with this man and nobody knew.
Well, now they know.
He was the faceless wonder.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of our pictures early in our relationship are like the phone right in front of his face.
So why was that an intentional thing to keep? Was that he wanted to keep off of it, or you wanted, or both of you guys were?
I just wanted something in my life to be private and sacred.
Yeah.
Because I'm so public with my life. Like everybody know, if I'm not filming a get ready with me video or a go to bed with me video, I'm working. Like people have access to my like daily routine a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want like one thing to be mine. No
Yeah.
one can weigh in on it. But now that it's out in the open,
there goes that.
forget it. Nothing in my life is private. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um,
Anyway, followers, you guys are weird. Or unfollowers, I should say. Weirdos.
Andy, can you throw up that last one over there? The Marshall Falk was a pioneer, original archetype of the Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara thing. Marshall Falk was that joker that Sean Payton talks about, a running back with superior receiver skills who puts defenses in a bind. A linebacker tries to cover him one-on-one, it ain't going to work out. And Christian McCaffrey's the same way. Saquon Barkley, not so much. Saquon Barkley's not really the skilled pass receiver who can go split out wide and run any route in the route tree.
And fast.
Yeah, he's just a beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah, and then but Alvin Kamara is that way, and so Sean Payton, and you got to remember, Sean Payton got Alvin Kamara in the 3rd round, and so is all lost if you don't get Ashton Genty in the 1st round? Well, no, I think this is
I think so.
a deep. Oh, you think is it because of the video?
No, I don't know. I want like,
Flash and
I want
pizzazz.
a household name.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like
Well,
that
Sean
would just,
Payton was going
that
to
would
turn him
ju-
into a household name. I
know,
think
but
that's the point.
can he just this once just like go ahead and not do that?
What?
I just want him to like get someone that's already like,
He doesn't
boom.
like doing that.
I know.
He
I
doesn't
want him
like
to,
getting the guy that everyone wants him to get. Because
he
then
likes to be different
Yeah, he does.
and unique.
Yeah.
Which actually
Isn't
worked
there
out for
some-
him just fine. So I guess
So far, so good with that one.
Mm,
You
I
know,
know.
you look at the success he had with the guys that he had in New Orleans.
Yeah,
None of them were like the guy coming out
I
of college.
know. Who's more stubborn, Sean Payton or me? Might be me actually.
But you know what? Yeah, I think it might be you. It might be a you problem. Then.
I am.
But like Sean Payton, that was him as a player too. He
For
was
sure.
He was the quarterback at the small school who was overlooked. He did get a shot in the NFL with the Bears. He was like in camp or something, but
Mhm.
it didn't work out for him. But he's always looking for those guys that
Yeah,
are
hidden gems.
hidden gems.
So is it fair to maybe assume? Can we just assume right here, right now, that the Broncos will not get Ashton Genty
No.
for that reason?
No. I wouldn't say that. I think if the price, so to speak, is right, if they can, get him at the I don't think they want to trade up to like 5 to get him because that would be like
Right.
crazy, right?
Okay. So it's really going to come down to
how much they have
how
to
much
give up.
do you have to give up?
How much do you have to give up to get that? And there are other running backs. Again, I haven't studied all the people, so I can't tell you.
Relative to my lack of research.
You're right, but
I'm with you. I don't know any other big names.
But I think it comes down to how they view, honestly, Jaleel McLaughlin. I
Mhm.
think that, obviously Javante's gone. Jaleel is a guy they like. Do they see him as the 1-2 punch, two-headed monster, lightning portion of their Thunder and Lightning program? And I don't know that.
Could that be Audric Estime?
As the Lightning? No, he's a Thunder. He's
I'm sorry.
a hammer fist guy. He's not a, catching balls out of the backfield and making guys miss and taking it to the house guy. But Jaleel is that guy.
Right. But what if, but in bringing up Audric Estime, what I meant more is like, could they tap more into him, keep him as a Thunder, and then find a Lightning?
Yes. And that could be it.
But you think that they prefer Jaleel?
I don't know.
I know it's hard. That's okay. Can we also
They
talk
gave
about
him-
the fact that that's why this is so difficult? Because none of the running backs last season were committed to enough for us to even know how Sean Payton feels about them.
Exactly.
It's like impossible to figure out.
Yeah.
How does Sean Payton feel about Jaleel versus Audric Estime? We don't know because you didn't even suit up Audric Estime in the last game of the season.
Right.
Jaleel, one game was your guy, the next game wasn't. So there was so much inconsistency there and lack of commitment that it's kind of impossible to be able to tell how he feels about the current running backs in his room.
Yeah, running backs need to be out there getting multiple carries to work up the lather that allows them to get in the rhythm and really break off long chunks. I mean, you see that with Derrick Henry, right? All the time. His first half, he's not breaking any big runs, but he wears them down.
Yep.
And in the second half, he takes off on them and he breaks a 40-yarder, a 60-yarder, a 65-yarder. Well, that only happens when you keep punching.
Yep.
When you stay with it, you wear them down and you get your running back into the groove. All running backs will tell you that they need carries. And, you see them all doing that. Feed me. Keep feeding me.
I'm starving.
Keep feeding me because
Mhm.
running backs, the worst thing is he breaks off a 12-yard run and then you pull him out.
Mhm.
And then you put in a different personnel group. And that's the problem with Sean is that he likes his different personnel groups. He likes his different packages.
He does.
And that's what makes him a brilliant play caller, but that can also prevent him from, we saw it all last year, getting his running backs in the rhythm, sticking with one guy. He's also quick to lose faith in the guy if he fumbles, because Audric Estime had a couple fumbles.
Yeah.
And then you really didn't see him the rest of the
And
year.
little Jordan Humphrey had some big drops.
And that's not why he's gone.
I know, but
but he did. But
I did feel like we saw him commit to him less in the offense after those moments.
Yeah.
There was some trust that was broken there for a little bit.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
Which is,
Well, little Jordan Humphrey had a couple moments there.
they were there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that there were moments that I said maybe let's back away from that for a second because listen, it's a big job. It's a big job to play in the NFL. It's a really big job to play under Sean Payton.
Yeah. But he really liked little Jordan Humphrey. And he brought him from New Orleans. He gave him an opportunity. Gave him
liked
another
him too.
contract if he wanted it, and he went elsewhere. But I think, we're talking about the running game. That's another reason why he liked Lil Jordan Humphrey, because he blocks. And we need receivers who block and
Mhm.
tight ends who block. And someone mentioned in there at the end there, a good, reliable tight end is a safety net for a quarterback. That's absolutely true. It's also great for the running game. And not only that, but a versatile tight end can allow you as a play caller to call runs or passes no matter what defense they put out there. So Evan Ingram, been signed. They're going to probably draft a tight end. They might
Mhm.
even draft two. We
Mhm.
might see a very new looking tight end room. Adam Troutman, I think, will still be here because he's the veteran who knows the system,
Mhm.
can articulate it to the young guys, can teach it to them, is going to do everything right. You know what he is every day. But the rest of the guys, but then there's guys like Nate Atkins, who's a really good player, but where's his future here? Because they just signed Michael Burton, who's a fullback, and Nate Atkins can play some fullback stuff.
Well, the tight ends kind of feel similar to the running backs, where there wasn't enough commitment to one or the other. So
Yeah.
it's hard to know how he feels about the tight ends that he's got left.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to figure that out.
And the tight ends, I mean, they need more production out of their tight ends. Their
They do.
leading receiver in that tight end room was Lucas Kroll with 19 catches. And he wasn't even the starter, really. Adam Troutman was the starter. He had 13 catches all season long. I mean, that's for Sean Payton's offenses historically, that's crazy low.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably the lowest tight end production that he's ever had as a play caller was these last 2 years with the Broncos.
Yep.
He had Jimmy Graham, who had 99 catches in a season. 1 year.
Just
And then he would just be in the 90s and the 80s for the next 5 or 6 years. He had a really nice run there. But it wasn't just him. He had Jeremy Shockey, who had a bunch of catches. Derek something or other. Anyway, he's always had production from his tight ends. And so that's a big thing that they got to figure out. And they sort of have with Evan Ingram. But I think the reliability of having two pass catching and tight ends could also block. So the Broncos offense has been the or at least last year was the weak point on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And the tight end room and the running back room have to get better.
Yeah.
And they're going to get addressed in the draft. Running back probably number one because of the signing of Evan Ingram and no veteran running back brought in.
Right.
So they're clearly probably content with going with young guys. And I like that because it's a young team.
I think that the
Build on it,
young team feels good because it feels fresh and different and rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So
just to throw out the running, my running back thoughts, reiterate them. The signing of Michael Burton matters because he's a fullback, and it's clear that Sean Payton's not going to abandon that philosophy.
Yeah.
He's sticking with having a fullback around. He likes having a fullback around. That is one guy in that room that's going to take up a roster spot. Ashton Genty looks amazing with his shirt off. Okay. We want to reiterate that because that happened.
He does. Listen, I wasn't trying to be right. I mean, come on. Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Look at that.
Wow.
So let me ask you a question.
Gracious.
If he was running past you and you got run over, but his dreads were sticking out of the back, would you grab him and pull him down by his hair?
I would just let him.
You would no, but your job is to tackle him.
I would let him kill me.
Okay. Sometimes that's what you have to do to get a guy down.
Right. Well,
is you have to sacrifice your body and be prepared to die.
I'm gonna be honest. If I were in the NFL and they said, all right, we're gonna watch some film on our opponent this week, and I saw film of that guy. Oof. I think I'm sick.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be sick on Sunday. Very sick.
Yeah.
Won't be able to get out of bed sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
There are times, and I'll quick
it.
story time. As when I was playing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So every week you game plan your opponent. You get to watch who you got to play up against, and you know exactly the man that you're going to have to block, and so you're sitting in this dark theater, and you're scouting these guys, and on every play, special teams, I know who I'm going to have to block,
right?
That guy, and so I'm studying that guy, and I have a folder that has that guy, a page dedicated to that guy. I see his picture, I see his story of his life. His biography, where he went to school, his family. I know the names of his family members.
So you're his stalker for the week.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I am stalking him, but guess what? In a dark room in another city, he's doing the same to me.
Kind of
that
a creepy
week.
Little thing going on here.
It is, and then you meet on Sunday, and that's where the rubber meets the road.
It's like, I know what your grandma's name is.
Yeah. How's grandma doing?
That's insane, actually.
Yeah.
Did you ever would you ever know who you're matching up with Would you ever have nightmares about that person where they like
Whatever.
turned into like a monster?
No, it was more
Oh,
like
don't lie now.
no, because I viewed myself as a superhero who had impenetrable armor and no one could affect me that
So
way.
did you have a dream about them where you took them down like the week leading up
I
to the
didn't
game?
really have those sorts of dreams. No.
That's fair.
Yeah, no.
Do you dream?
I do.
Do you remember your dreams?
I do.
Some
yeah.
people dream and they don't remember them. I'm like, so then how do you know you dream?
Yeah.
Liar!
Yeah.
Caught you in a lie.
Uh,
If you can't remember your dream, then how do you know you even dreamed in the first place? I remember my dreams sometimes.
I think it only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Well, so Skittles.
Right. Joy bombs. Can't say enough about them. No, I really, I don't, but I also got on a, we'll just get deep here. I also got on a antidepressant that actually helped with that because I did used to have night terrors for my PTSD that were like really bad. I would wake up thinking like it truly happened, like having physical responses to the dream. It was very scary. So I think some of that also shut off dreams for a while
Yeah.
for me, which
Yeah.
was good because they were not good dreams.
Yeah.
It was never like, oh, I got a hamster. Oh,
Right.
I
I
just
was
bought a new
flying
car.
around my.
Yeah, I had fairy wings. No, it was very dark.
Yeah.
So
Has
yeah.
that improved?
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
we're good now.
Good.
Yeah, no scary dreams. We're
Yeah.
good.
Dreams are can be very confusing.
They can be.
I mean, what is that another life? Is that another dimension?
Right. Have I lived this before?
Yeah.
Mm.
There's people who can lucid dream, who can like make decisions in their dream consciously. Like, I'm going to go through this door. I'm going to open this up. Well, so let's see what's in the fridge. Like you're laying there and you're actually directing your own actions in your dream.
I actually think I can do that.
Really?
Yeah, I think sometimes I can like picture something in my head as I'm falling asleep, and then it like ignites the dream that I'm about to have.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of visualization involved in sports and being,
Mhm.
in your moments of repose, like thinking about those things. And I was talking about scouting an opponent, and it would the level of detail with which we would do that. I would get to know these, and sometimes, like if it's the Chargers, for example, we play them twice a year,
Yeah.
and so I know these. I see them twice a year, and I saw them last year, and I'm starting to know them very well, and they're starting to know me very well. But the point of that story was Brandon Jacobs. Do you remember the running back Brandon Jacobs for the Giants? He was like 6'5", 270. He was an absolute freak beast, and he was like a Derrick Henry type of body type, but even bigger and scarier.
Oh my
He had a little
gosh.
run with the
I
New York
didn't even know
Giants.
that was possible
Yeah,
to be bigger and scarier than Derrick Henry.
yeah, he was.
Oh my gosh.
He really was. Not as prolific, didn't play quite as long, but when he first got into the league, he was only playing special teams because they thought he was too big, to play running back. And so he was absolutely destroying people on special teams, and we were about to go play the Giants. And so we were watching film of this dude who was making the rest of these NFL players look like Pop Warner kids. And he was out there just beasting people. And so all week long, we're like, we got to deal with this guy, and we have to have a plan for this guy. And when you have to spend your week planning for this guy who could wreak havoc on you, it's a lot, and it's an advantage for that team to be able to have that. But ultimately, it's also a triumphant moment when you do contain that beastly guy who looked like a god on film, but then you find that he's just human.
Oh yeah, that's got to be the best feeling in the world.
It is.
Oh yeah.
And then he hits you. You're like, oh, that was it.
That's what we needed
That
from the
was it?
Broncos with James Cook.
Yeah.
Felt like we missed the mark on that one. We were so consumed with how do we stop Josh Allen,
Yeah.
which fair, it's Josh Allen, but also James Cook said, cool, then I'm going to cook then. No pun intended.
He did cook,
Right.
unlike Russell Wilson.
It's like my last name. My last name's perfect for me.
Because you're moody?
Yeah.
Are you moody?
Very. Might be the moodiest
Well, you
person on
always-
the planet.
You always bring the sunshine here.
That's not true.
Uh,
There have been days where I've walked in and you've been like, what's wrong?
Well, but then when
Because I can't hide it for nothing.
when the camera turns on, you just snap into.
It's funny because I could probably go through all the shows we've done and be like, I know I can tell I was in a bad mood there.
Okay.
I'm sure the viewers maybe can't tell, but my
Today's
body
not one of
language-
those days.
No.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
Okay.
very
Real quick. Your thoughts on Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson being on the same team?
To be honest, I'm a little confused by what the Giants are up to right now. I just got to keep it very transparent. I'm a little lost.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe it's like hey, we watched Russ in a quarterback competition and that really was what made him thrive.
Okay.
Maybe we're setting him up for a little, hey, there's someone right there knocking on the door
Yeah.
that wants to play just as bad as you want to play. So figure it out. I don't know I can't figure out what the Giants are up to at the moment.
It is strange.
Do you think Diggs is excited? Oh, he's going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Do you think Diggs is excited about that trade? I feel like he's
Going to the
probably not.
Patriots?
Yeah,
That sign? I mean, he got a lot of money, so that's cool.
that's fair. I guess if I were
Coming
rich,
off an
I wouldn't-
ACL, he's 31 years old.
That's
He's
fair.
had his troubles, so I think that he's probably. But you're playing with a young quarterback. But it's what's his face? Vrabel's the head coach there now,
Yeah.
and he knows what he's doing. So I'm sure he's happy about that. He'll be the number one. He'll be like the clear-cut number one receiver, which is what
That's
he
true.
wanted.
Because with the Texans, it was
He was like not.
yeah, he
It was
wasn't.
Nico Collins who was emerging, Tank Dell, and those guys.
A
So
lot of guys
he had
over
to
there.
like kind of take a back seat. So he'll be the man if he can prove it.
But yeah, the Giants, I can't.
Well, there's also rumors that Shedeur Sanders is going to go to the Giants.
That's why I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
where are we at?
So-
I mean,
So you got these two guys as mentors? That should be awkward quarterback room. My question is like, who gives the halftime speech? Jameis or Russell?
both of those guys, shout out to them, nothing but love. But both of those guys might be like some of the biggest cornballs on the planet.
Yeah,
So I'm sure Shedeur is like, maybe maybe not.
maybe not New York.
Because he's very different personality wise from
Yeah.
those two.
Yeah.
They're like, you know,
believe it.
shout out, you know,
Yeah.
this was in my calling.
Yeah.
This one's personal. I remember what you said. And
Right.
Shedeur's like,
Oh yeah. What is that little thing you got with the?
oh, it's a hand chain, Nate.
Oh,
You never seen one of these?
does it ever get caught on something and like?
Of course.
Yeah.
Beauty is pain.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I wear or buy that I don't really feel comfortable in, but if they look good, then whatever. So be it.
Sacrifices you make.
I'm going to bring you a hand chain.
I can't wait to wear one. I'll have one next week. So.
Woo! Okay. Well, is that it for today?
Yeah.
We just wanted to talk about the run game.
Yeah.
Because we've had enough of this. Run it, Sean.
Run it.
Write it on your clipboard and run it. Yeah, this has been another Guerrilla Sports off field. I'm Liv Moods. That's Nate Jackson. And we will be back next week for more football talk. It's not going away anytime soon. You thought, oh, the Super Bowl's over. We don't have to hear them blab. Wrong. We'll be blabbing again next week. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is presented by Trusted American Mortgage. Shout out to our friends at Trusted American. You can head to trustedamerican.com to see how they can help you save some money. That's literally what they're designed to do. Getting you better interest rate, lowering your monthly payments. Shout out to our friends at Trusted American. We'll see you guys next week. Go Broncos.
Run it.
Woo!
Bye.